So again, the economy's doing well, but we are not. Is it conversely possible for us to do well and for the economy to falter?
I mean, in a sense, it's a question on semantics and a question on linguistics. I personally think that a good economy is people's lives being good. I think that's, I think they are the same thing, but you can definitely have a situation where GDP is rising and people's lives are getting worse. 100% you can have that. And I think that is, GDP now is much higher than it was 50, 60 years ago. But in many ways, people's lives are worse than they were 60 years ago. They work longer hours. They have much less leisure time. In many cases, they're squeezed into smaller housing. They're much more financially insecure. Some things have gone better, of course. There's been technological advancements. Holidays to Asia are cheaper and a lot of white goods are cheaper, Obviously, we have computing power we didn't have back then. But, in terms of financial security, I look at my dad with no advanced education and, God bless you, dad, no particular marketable skills. He was able to buy a house and raise a family. Nowadays, you have people who are homeless doing that kind of job. You know what I mean? So I think in many ways, life has gotten worse. And I always remember there was a great moment in the Brexit debate where I think it was George Osborne was on, Question Time, saying if we leave the EU, GDP is going to go down, 4.7% or whatever. And some woman stood up in the crowd and she shouted, "That's your GDP." And I fucking loved it. I thought it was amazing. This is like such a powerful statement for the reclamation of economics and economic ideas for the fucking people. Who gives a fuck if GDP is going up, if life is getting worse and worse and worse for the majority of the people? It doesn't fucking matter, does it? It doesn't fucking matter. So I think that because economists tend to focus on very narrow metrics, if you look at the last 20 years, okay, maybe not the last 2 years, but before that, growing GDP, low unemployment, low steady inflation, in the eyes of most economists, that is a good economy. Okay, maybe it's not an excellent economy, but it's a good economy. But if you look at actually what's happening to ordinary families, harder to get a well-paying job, harder to be able to support a family, longer working hours, much harder to afford housing. So many parts of this country and of this continent and the world, which used to be able to house good, reliable jobs for families, you can't even live there anymore. It's hard to get a job, you know what I mean? Yes, it's not working for ordinary people, but it's to focus just on GDP is a madness, and I think you need to. Keynes said that, to be a good economist requires a great variety of skills. And I think, you need to be able to look at GDP and understand it, but it's just one measure. And if GDP is going up and life is getting worse, then who the fuck really cares?
So, it is a case of semantics and how you phrase it, but if the problem is that in the public sector, we're not very good at finding out the good economists and rewarding them, in the private sector they are. How do they identify good economists in the private sector?
Predictors. Well, in markets, it's just you set them out, you compete against one another, and who's the guy who's making the predictions right? Who is the guy who's... That's why I'm so focused on...
What is it again, GDP, or is there...
It could be anything. It could be anything. So, I was specifically... And it's not just that your predictions are right. What they look for, what markets effectively reward, is people who are very good at making predictions that are right and everybody thought they were wrong. So if everybody knows something's going to happen, you don't make no money betting on it. So my big trade was, back in sort of early 2011, I said interest rates will be zero for fucking 5 years. Nobody thought that back then. But I could see ordinary people are getting fucked here, and you're never going to have a recovery if people don't have any fucking money to spend, you know what I mean? And it wasn't that complicated really, but nobody could see that. And I think what you have there is another big problem in economics, which is that top level economists, i.e. the ones that come from prestigious universities and get the prestigious jobs, overwhelmingly live in lives where they are from elite universities, elite private schools, rich families. Everybody they know is from that background, and they have no fucking idea what's happening in the real world. They've got no fucking idea. So you have this whole world of economics where nobody knows what's fucking happening in the lives of ordinary people. It is crazy. And you know, you look at it and sometimes it's profoundly depressing. I think you have to look for the humour in a way. You know, you look at these guys like George Osborne and like fucking Andrew Bailey, and you know, they look so smart in their suits. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They do not know what the fuck. And the worst of it is, they don't even know they don't know. That's how bad they are. That is seriously this. And nobody, no good trader in the city gives a fuck about it. We know that they're a bunch of idiots.
Scary.
It's scary, but you know, you got me. You got me. You know, you won't find many who have a better understanding.
In many ways, though, and I'm sure maybe viewers would share this, I wonder if maybe not having you would be better.
No.
Ignorance is bliss, Gary.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe ignorance is bliss. I think that there is a profound strength and dignity that comes from working hard to understand the situation that you are in, even if it is bad.
Housing could be so much more affordable, wages could be so much higher, and we could have so many more options in how we live our lives. Some of them put a lot of money into paying economists and think tanks to tell you that inequality is important for the economy. That is not true.